Hello, everybody, or should I say hola, amigos. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Monica, no, so I think it's Monica Navarro, if I've said that correctly. I'm going to just share the screen. It's an interesting one that we've got. No, sorry, Monica Naranjo. Sorry. Interesting request we've got today. So it's for Doble Corazón. We've had quite a lot of requests for it. By the way, thank you for everybody who left a like and a positive comment after our last Monica Naranjo song that we did, which was Europa. It's our first time ever listening to her. Hopefully the quality of the video will be a little bit better this time as well. So, as I said, had quite a lot of requests for this one, but the one that stands out for me is this particular comment here, which I'm going to read. So to quote James Devil Brown about Doble Corazón, the song is based on the true story of Mónica Naranjo's great-grandmother, whose husband was taken away from her when she was pregnant with one of her 4 children in the bloody Spanish Civil War, and she never saw him again. But Monica's great-grandmother, Miss Robledo, never gave up hope of seeing her husband again, never stopped looking for him, and never forgot him or joined another man. The great-grandmother had to work hard to support and educate her children on her own during Spain's many tough war and post-war years. Actually, that wasn't the comment I was looking for. There was one that talks about a reason why she was... Oh, no, it is the comment here. Sorry, it's at the end. So when Monica appears naked in what looks like black water, what she really represents is black milk with breadcrumbs, which is what the great-grandmother and her children often had to eat as they were starving. So, the naked girl is a model who has the face of Monica Naranjo really tattooed on her back. That's interesting. So, really interesting comment that gives us an insight into what this whole song and video is about. So really appreciate that. What's the person's name? Daddy Paki Yank. I can't pronounce it, but thank you for the comment. So Brett, if you can't hear, just let me know, sir.
Doble dolor. Ángeles locos lloren buscando a
So I paused it early on here. What do you make of it so far, bro? The start and how it's sort of changed now to what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So it reminds me very similar of the first song that we listened of hers as well. We had this sort of, amazing voice, operatic kind of start, and then which was more of a surprise shock to me at the time, going into that sort of Euro dance pop, which I absolutely love. So I was sort of respecting it. Obviously, it felt like it was coming a lot earlier than in the previous song. Previous song almost felt like it was 2 different songs by the time I got into it. This one, it's brought it in a lot sooner, and because I'm expecting it as well, it's not as much as a shock. But already I'm enjoying the vibe of it. Really, I'd love to see where it's going to carry on going.
Yeah, so Brett's referring to the song Europa, which is the previous song we did of Monica. So yeah, same kind of thing going on. Yeah, as you say, the same pattern. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes from here. It's obviously it's about to liven up. Let's check it out. So we often talk about, for those of you who watch our channel regularly, like the likes of Epica, Nightwish, feels very epic. I feel like with this as well, it has a very epic feel, very kind of, what's the word? Theatratic? No, that's not the word. What's the word? I can't. It just feels like a real show going on. Very alive, a lot happening, a lot of effort going into this. Monica's really singing it very high pitched and really going for it. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely the case there. There's obviously a bit where she goes really high, and it's obviously using a bit of sort of voice type thing on it, and it sounds a little annoying, but because it's quite minimal, it doesn't put me off the rest of the song. It's really good and more interesting. Like for such a meaningful, powerful story that you read about before. Like if we hadn't seen it, we would never have guessed that was what this was meant to represent, which I find is a little shame, really. I'm not saying it had to be totally a depressing video, but something more indications on, what the song and what it's meant to be about, really. Maybe if we understood the lyrics, that would make it a bit more obvious, potentially. But yeah, that would only be my sort of criticism. But in terms of the song and the dance vibes with it, and operatic and theatre style, I'm really, really enjoying it.
Good. Yes, I wasn't expecting that to happen. So it's completely whole kind of different side to it there. That was interesting.
I'll tell you what it really reminds me a lot of there. I don't know why, but Anastasia. Do you remember her?
Yeah.
Just even with the sort of the braided hair, and just sort of the power voice, and just the way she sort of looked there, and the type of tune and way of singing. Yeah, very much reminded me. Obviously, I also who I really enjoy as well. So, yeah, very much felt like Anastasia there.
Is there anything that woman can't do? I mean, in the end, that kind of really took me by surprise, though, of just how like her vocal range is quite incredible. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not the sort of I prefer like a song to be generally to have more of a kind of real catchy chorus to it, which I wouldn't say this does have, but it's interesting nonetheless listening to. Obviously, we don't understand the lyrics. Obviously, goes against us, but just I can really just appreciate her voice and the way she sings as well. It's so much sort of passion and just goes into it, and she manages to hit some really impressive notes. Got different styles of singing, different ways. So I think that's really impressive. And the song has different elements to it, and the same with the previous song, Europa, as well. From what I remember, that also has some different elements to it. So it's definitely very interesting listening to her songs, or 2 songs we've listened to so far. Brett, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I can totally see why a lot of people have been saying one of the best voices in Spain and stuff. The range is really impressive. I felt there was a lot more going on in this one than there was in the Europa song. But yeah, it's still, I think because it wasn't a very long song, it was still relatively quite short, and the bits that did keep changed quite quickly, so it didn't feel too repetitive, and you kind of felt, when you're coming and going, but it still kind of worked for me. And I know this is to some people either a compliment or not a compliment. If that's came up playing something in Eurovision, I could see it winning every day of the week. It's hard to tell because you never really know whoever would win in Eurovision. It's all that. The point being, to me, is a compliment that it's a really good. I find it's a catchy song in a different way, not like a traditional pop song, but it sort of catches your imagination. It's a very artistic type song, isn't it? But yeah, I absolutely love that.
Well, I was also going to say as well, at one point when I paused it, I forgot to mention it, that I also thought this would be a good Eurovision song. Now, I can't remember if he said the same thing about the Europa song. We may very well have done. I can't remember. But yeah, it certainly has that sort of Eurovision kind of feel to it. And that's not a negative thing. I think it's really in the UK, though, where the Eurovision is seen as a bit of a, people take the mick out of it. But I think in the continent, I think it's quite a well-respected competition. But
if people watching, let us know what you think. Let us know what your thoughts on Eurovision are, actually, because I think you're right. I think from our point of view, I think it is something that takes a bit of a joke thing in the UK, but everywhere else, I think it's a bit of an honour, or it's just more respected, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so thank you for the request, for those that requested it. And we look forward to reacting to some more Mónica Naranjo, which we have got planned. We've got plenty more to get through. So we'll see you again soon for the next one. Take care. Adios.